Tamales mean warmth.
We were together as a family.
This delicious treat that we all made it together.
I think of family.
Hi, I'm Edna, and today I'm making tamales for Mexico. When you are making tamales, you want to soak the corn husks until they're pliable. My mom just fills up the sink and throws them in overnight, or throws them in the morning before work, comes home, they're ready to go. Before I went to culinary school, I was like, oh, I know Mexican food. Mexican food is this and this type of ceviche and these type of tamales. But then I saw the variety, like so many other families make tamales so many different ways in just Mexico alone. I couldn't imagine learning every single different culture and the type of tamales they have. Tamales mean warmth. I mean, we use them for like every big occasion, holidays, birthdays. Every once in a while, my mom just randomly feels like making tamales, and those are the best days. So the meat you want to cook until it's pretty brown and the fat is all dried up for the most part. You want the sauce to do the rehydrating and softening. You want it to be pork tender. Growing up, my mom used to save me a couple of the dry bits of pork before adding the sauce, but this was obviously after I had already snuck a couple of them myself. I think what makes Mexico really, really beautiful is that each state has such a variety. Honestly, the fillings are endless. You can go from savory to sweet. It's really up to you and the family or country. You want to prepare the masa itself by adding the lard, baking soda, baking powder, and a little bit of water. Mix it all by hand because that's the best way to do it. It's all about the feel with the masa. Masa is smooth but firm and soft. As a chef, I think it's very important to keep traditions alive, and I love sharing my family's recipes because it keeps them going on forever. I think what makes my family's tamales is really my mom. I feel like making tamales makes me just that much closer to her. She is such a strong figure in my family. Strong and powerful, and the cook, the everything really. I hope to be like my mom one day. I had her send me recipes and she made little clips of her making it, little tutorials for me from far, so I hope I make her proud with these.
Hey there, I'm Ivan, and today I'm making the Puerto Rican pastel de yuca. Pasteles de yuca are little pockets of yuca dough filled with pork wrapped in banana leaves. So what makes Puerto Rican pasteles de yuca so special is that we cook the pork with so much flavor and seasoning, and also the way we use yuca as our dough, just flavor and seasoning. That's kind of like the key of a delicious Puerto Rican meal. The very first time I had a pastel de yuca was when my grandma made it for the family at a Christmas Eve dinner. It was the most delicious thing I've ever had, but definitely this recipe is made by my mom, but I feel like my dad usually always tries to take over, and then he's the one that says, oh, look what I made. But yeah, I feel like it's a combination of both working together in the kitchen, and I feel like that's so lovely because it makes it even more special. One of the best memories that I have making pasteles de yuca with my parents are getting messy when I was a child. I really didn't know how to cook, so I would try to help, but instead I would just start playing with the dough, and that was pretty much my help. So now it's finally time to assemble our delicious pasteles de yuca, but first we have to heat up the banana leaves so that they're pliable. So some families add raisins and capers to their pasteles de yuca, and some even add garbanzo beans, which I've never had a pastel with garbanzo bean, but I guess that's a thing. My family never adds any of those things. We like to just let the meat speak for itself. So whenever I bite into a pastel de yuca, the flavor immediately hits, and it's just like a tangy, salty, but also a little bit sweet from the yuca flavor, and it's just so delicious. And then you bite even more into the meat, and then it's like a burst of flavor with the seasoning and all the spices, and it's just... So I would add ketchup to my pasteles, and my dad especially would get so mad because he would say, I spent so much time giving this pastel flavor and now you're gonna spread ketchup all over it. That's so disrespectful. And I would just laugh because I was like, well, I like it with ketchup, so I'm gonna eat it with ketchup. I love pasteles de yuca so much. I feel like it's that tiny piece of home that I get to keep even if I live miles and miles away from home. So it definitely brings all my family together, and I feel like that's something very important for Puerto Ricans in general. Oh my God, my mom will be so proud.
Hey, I'm Erwin, and today I'm gonna show you how to make Guatemalan paches. Paches are Guatemalan tamales. These are made with tomato. Wait, not tomato, potatoes. But paches are the best tamales in Latin America. What I remember, I was around 6 years old the first time when I tried patches, and they were really good. You never can forget this taste because when you're eating a patch, the taste is like the most beautiful thing in the world, and it's so delicious. So the patches are really important for me because remember me when I was little, all the family was together and we always eat patches on Saturdays, which is something like most of the family does in Guatemala. It's really special. It's something cultural that we always do. So I live in Los Angeles. My wife and my kids live so far away from here. They live in Guatemala. And I'm really excited because I'm gonna see them soon. And I know they're excited as well. We make a lot of tamales. We make like more than 100 tamales. We all giving to the neighbors. So it's really special because when you're taking tamales to your neighbors, they know someone's birthday in your family. One thing I love about my mom is when she's cooking, you know, like it's always delicious. And she doesn't take the compliment when you say, oh, it's really delicious. And she's always, oh, I forgot to put something on it. She never takes the compliment of the delicious food that she makes. All the time, I'm always asking my mom to make me some patches. And she's always like, oh, yeah, I can do it for you, but you guys need to help me because it's a lot to do. And I'm always like, oh, of course, mom, I'll help you. And it's really funny when we're already like packing all the patches because I don't have practice when I'm making the patches. One is too big and the other one is too small, and she's always like, do it the right side, do it the right side, and she's always mad at me because of that. When she's packing them, she's always like, oh, I forgot if I put meat on that one. I don't remember. So she starts all over again, and it's funny because it happens when you're doing patches. You're like, oh, I don't know if I forgot the meat, which is really important in the patches. It was really fun making all the tamales together because, you know, like it was always something for somebody to do. That way you can make the tamales faster. That way you can not get too tired doing by yourself. So because we were working all together making the tamales, that's what it's a really special moment for me to remember.
Hi, I'm Julissa, and today I'm making Dominican pastel en hojas. Oh, I feel like when I bite into a pastel and I get like that first bite, it's like a hint of savory. But then you get that little sweetness in the back of your palate. Dominican food is so flavorful. We don't like spicy, contrary to the belief of everyone thinking Latinos enjoy spicy food. We don't. Our spices come from just flavor. You know, all around Latino America, everybody has a lot of the same dishes, but everyone also puts their own twist on it. And for us, we use plátanos, which is like life in Dominican Republic. That's all we eat. So we just wrap this plantain up in some delicious ground beef, and that's it. It's your snack, it's your dinner, it's your side, it's whatever you want to have. Whenever it's made, you know it's because of the holidays, and you know that it just brings warmth and happiness to the family and to me. That's usually what I think of. You know, I never get tired of saying why I'm proud of being Dominican. As many times as people ask me, I love talking about it. Just our culture of being such happy and proud people and being proud Latinos and embracing every part of that journey. The laughter that we always bring, the humor. What's really interesting is I didn't like pastel en hojas when I was younger. I was like, ew, that's gross, without trying it. And as I got older, I remember it was one Christmas at my tia Petra's house, and I loved it. We put ketchup on it after. For me, ketchup on it was like, oh, the cherry on top. Now I can't go a Christmas without having it, which is so funny because I did a complete 360. This is good.
They just always remind me of my mom.
They're delicious. You really have to try them.
It was the most delicious thing I've ever had.
This is gonna make me extremely happy.
Oh, yes!